It's the College Football Couch Potato Report with Dan, the fan with the mic, giving you the fan's perspective of this week's best college football games. Got a bowl of snacks to my left, icy cold beverages to my right, and college football on the TV. Let's see where the action takes us this week. Hello, and once again from my couch, I'm Dan Waters with the Couch Potato Report. Week 13 of the college football season has just concluded. What a great day it was. You know what? I mean, the weekend after Thanksgiving, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday stretch, just such an amazing time. And what was great this year was we had all the Thanksgiving leftovers to accompany us on our couch today as we watched college football. It was a great day. I had a lot of fun. And you know what? For the first time in 2 weeks, we did not have like one of those epic, number 1 and 2 teams losing. Everything's upside down. Everything's crazy. There's so much parity. Today, everything pretty much went as expected, and it was a very good day for college football. So for the Game of the Week portion this week, where else can we be going, guys? You know where we're going, right? Game just ended. USC, Notre Dame. And of course, this game has always had so much to go with it. I mean, we all remember, 2005, 2006, when you had Notre Dame playing USC with the very last play of the game was Matt Leinart doing the QB sneak into the end zone. Reggie Bush pushes him in, beats Notre Dame. There was all the hullabaloo over that play. We all remember, this game always is good, always entertaining. You know it's not going to let you down. So let's get to it. All right, the main storyline going into this game, as we talked about during the last podcast, USC quarterback Matt Barkley hurt during the UCLA game last week. Hurt shoulder. He didn't play in this game. Instead, his backup quarterback Max Wittek got his first collegiate start. And what's funny about these two gentlemen, they were high school teammates. Matt Barkley, Max Wittek played in high school together. Max Wittek actually took over for Matt Barkley when he graduated and went on to USC. They ended up going to the same college, and now once again, Matt Barkley being a senior, Max Wittek is taking over for him again. Oh my God, it's like the circle of life. Woo! Okay, let's get right into the action. A lot going into this game. Notre Dame's playing for the 12-0 record and the spot in the BCS championship. USC, after their loss last week to UCLA, really doesn't have much to play for at this point. So this game was all about Notre Dame. Can they do it? Can they return to the top, finish perfect, get to that championship game? So, what happens? Well, the game begins. Notre Dame gets out to a 3-0 lead. Kyle Brenza field goal. Theo Riddick then scores at the end of the first, pushing it to 10-0. The second quarter, SC scores on a Robert Woods touchdown, making the score 10-7. Now, in that first quarter, and I have to talk about this quick, because on earlier installments of the Couch Potato Report, I tortured Notre Dame quarterback Everett Golson. I said that he shouldn't be starting. I said Notre Dame should be starting Tommy Rees. You know what? I really had to eat some serious crow on that, because Everett Golson played very good in that first quarter. And he's really recovered since that Stanford game when I said that he really shouldn't be the starter. Everett Golson in the first quarter, 8 of 9 for 109 yards. He continued throughout the whole game. He's really playing very, very well. He's probably going to be the Notre Dame starter for the next couple of years. He's only a sophomore. Looks like Notre Dame's got a good player in him. So kudos to Everett Golson for making me look like a fool, saying that they should start Tommy Rees over him. All right, back to the game. USC gets another field goal, pushing the score to 13-10 Notre Dame. With 1:25 left in the second quarter, so getting close to halftime here, Max Wittek was intercepted. Notre Dame actually drove down the field, didn't get a touchdown, but Kyle Brenza, who had a very good game, Notre Dame kicker, Kyle Brenza, connects on a 52-yard field goal. That was his personal best ever in college, 52 yards, pushing your halftime score to 16-10. Okay, so halftime, we get up, we go to the bathroom, we get some more food, we replenish our beverages, and we get ready for to watch the second half, hoping that it's going to be an awesome finish. Well, I mean, it lacked by way of, offensive production. Kyle Brenza, again, Notre Dame kicker, had another field goal in the third, and in the fourth, USC also had another field goal in there, pushing your score to 22-13. That ended up being the final. What got a little bit interesting was towards the end, as SC is driving, they get down into the Notre Dame red zone, meaning inside the Notre Dame 20. Okay, now it's 22-13, so they do need a field goal in there. It's a two-possession game. You need a field goal. Their drive gets to fourth down. They opt to go for it instead of kicking the field goal and then trying to recover the onside kick. So they go for it. They don't make it on fourth down. It's a turnover on downs. Ball goes back to Notre Dame. That was really kind of the only interesting thing that happened there towards the end. Had SC kicked the field goal and then tried to recover the onside kick, you don't know what might have happened. But they didn't. Ha-ha. You lose. Notre Dame ends up winning 22-13. Notre Dame finishes up 12-0, the perfect season, Running back Theo Riddick looked great in this game. Quarterback Everett Golson looked great in this game. Kyle Brenza, the kicker, you don't often hear the kicker getting props. He looked great in this game. 4 field goals, including the 52-yarder. Notre Dame finishes up 12-0. They clinch a spot in the BCS championship game, meaning they are the number 1 ranked team in the nation. They will play for the title. And you know what? As if you haven't noticed during these podcasts, yeah, I got a special place in my heart for Notre Dame. I think it was because when I was a kid, I loved the movie Rudy. Remember that? Rudy. Great movie. I really like Notre Dame, and it feels good with such a good storied program like Notre Dame for them to be back on top, for them to play for the championship. It's going to be really exciting to see. We hope that they can do it, and we certainly, or I shouldn't say we. I can't speak for you guys. I speak for myself. I certainly hope that they do well and that they pull this off this year. I think they deserve it, and it will be a lot of fun to see. Time now, as we always do, to go around the league and see what else was tickling our fancy on this Saturday. Rivalry weekend in college football. As we always start with Marist, they actually had off this week, my alma mater. They will take on San Diego next week at home, Tenney Stadium. Be there. Okay, Michigan and Ohio State. Always a storied rivalry there. Ohio State wins 26-21. Ohio State finishes 12-0. As we mentioned in the previous installment of the Couch Potato Report, cannot play for the national championship game, despite their perfect record. What's the lesson there? If you're in college, don't take bribes. Okay, Oregon State against Oregon. Oregon wins 48-24, as expected. Oregon's a very good program. Florida beat Florida State 37-26. This game was actually a little bit interesting. Florida was down 20-13 going into the fourth quarter. They ended up scoring 24 points to push the final score to 37-26. So definitely a lot tighter than anybody in Florida probably would have expected, but they hold on to win. They will finish up 11-1. Oklahoma State. I'm noticing a theme here with these teams. Oh, you gotta love rivalry week. But anywho, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma wins a very tight ball game, 51-48. This game ended up going into double overtime. Oklahoma scored 2 field goals to win it. Stanford beats UCLA with a score of 35-17. Pretty decisive game there. And finally, Alabama beats their fellow SEC rival Auburn by a score of 49-0. Blowout. Alabama will now preserve that number 2 ranking at least for one more week. They will play for the SEC Championship next week. And of course that game, the winner of that game will in all likelihood take on Notre Dame for the BCS National Championship. And that'll do it for the Around the League portion. Like we said, everything kind of went as we expected this week, so nothing really earth-shattering to report or comment on. But now next week, oh baby, next week's going to be a fun one. Next week is title week. We're going to have a lot of teams going for their conference titles. Again, probably the BCS National Championship game will be set. So let's just get into that real quick. The preview of next week, we're going to have Northern Illinois and Kent State playing for the MAC, the Mid-American Conference Championship. We have UCLA Stanford, who played this week, are going to play again next week for the Pac-12 Championship. So that'll be kind of fun. We'll see the same team play twice in 2 weeks, I should say. University of Central Florida will be taking on Tulsa for the Conference USA Championship. Does anybody care? No, didn't think so. Okay, Nebraska and Wisconsin will play for the Big Ten Championship. And of course, the big one, the big game of next week is going to be Alabama, Georgia playing for the SEC title, and also probably simultaneously for the BCS Championship game. Bama's going in ranked number 2. Georgia's ranked number 3, so in all likelihood the winner of that game will get the, obviously, number 2 ranking, take on Notre Dame in the BCS National Championship game coming up in January. So of course all these games I should say, will have big implications on the bowl season, the BCS bowl games coming up in December. Of course, the big ones are always the Orange Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and of course the big daddy of them all, the BCS Championship game, going to be played in Miami this year, January 7th. We know Notre Dame's going to be there, and we will in all likelihood know their opponent after next Saturday. So it's going to be a big one next week. Make sure you hit the grocery store, get yourself a nice feast, get yourself something to drink, park yourself on that couch, watch these games. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's also pretty much the last week of college football. Of course, you have the Army-Navy game, which is coming up in 2 weeks. We'll be sure to talk about that too. But next week, really the last week that you have a full block of games. It's always so sad when the college football season ends. So much fun. It goes so quick. Oh my god, but this was a great one. filled with great games. So it was a lot of fun. And even though that it's ending, I mean, we do have the bowl games coming up. All of December is all the bowl games. So that'll always be fun to watch. And then we have, the Heisman voting, how that ends up going. And then that's all building up to the national championship game on January 7th. And on that note, we wrap things up from my couch here for Week 13 of the college football season. Again, the big story today, Notre Dame clinches it. They're going to play for the BCS National Championship. So congratulations to Notre Dame. And of course, next week we'll see who they will be taking on. As always, you can follow the Couch Potato Report via Twitter under the hashtag CFCouchPotato. See what I'm going to be talking about. And if you want to sound off on me, give me your opinion. That will be the spot. You can do it. So we'll be back next week. Again, it'll be Week 14, the last of the regular season of college football games, getting us set for bowl season. Once again, folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I'm Dan Waters with the Couch Potato Report. Talk to you again soon.